I'm no crypto expert, and I've not been an investor in cryptocurrencies. I read the original Bitcoin white paper. Makes sense. Bitcoin itself, to me, makes sense as a potential. Initially, it was kind of interesting as a potential alternative currency, but the transaction fees were very high. And so it never really seemed to make sense as a replacement for traditional financial networks until those transaction fees dropped below those of the traditional financial networks. And the biggest concern I've always had, which I've mentioned multiple times on the show, is that whenever anyone talks about a quote cryptocurrency, they talk about the price of it in dollars. And if it really is meant to be an alternative to the US dollar, why are you talking about it in the price of US dollars and it's up and it's down relative to dollars? And that implies ultimately that the intention would be to transact back to US dollars, which implies that the intent is not to be a replacement for the US dollar, which was a lot of the early prognostication of Bitcoin. Was it was going to be a replacement for the US dollar. It's going to be an alternative to traditional monetary systems. But ultimately, if you're just measuring this in dollars and it's up and it's down, everyone's freaking out every day about crypto's up, crypto's down, that means it really is more like a security. Except securities definitionally are supposed to have a secured interest in some underlying set of assets. And there's no underlying asset. It's not actually a security because it doesn't provide you a secured interest in anything. So it is effectively a bet on some systems of computers that are meant to facilitate some set of activities that, ultimately people really only seem to value in US dollars. So I don't know. I mean, where does it all go? It seems like I mentioned at our predictions episode last year that all of these smaller things are going to get blown out, these quote unquote cryptocurrencies, even though many of them don't really act like a currency. And, maybe Bitcoin itself persists. And it seems to me like that's always going to have good staying power as an observer. I'm not a participant. And, anytime someone telling you something's in dollars and it's going up and it's going down and you're betting on whether it's going to go up or go down and your intention is to transact back to dollars, and there's no one,
these have been securities the whole time.